Hey, Alexandria. So I am going to, I have my board set up in case we don't have school tomorrow. I'm going to video the sessions for school tomorrow. I do that sometimes, so I figured I would just use my board since everything is already set up. I'm trying to not cut my head off so much, but there, maybe that's better. But anyway, I got your message. I wanted to respond with this video. Excuse any background noise because I have cats and dogs and a husband and a daughter. And so you might hear some of that. You probably hear the dryer running. So, but anyway, let's get started. So you asked me about 22B odds. One of the things I want you to remember is if we are dealing, so obviously this lesson is factoring trinomials with coefficients. If we have 2x squared, when you go to factor, it's always going to be 2x and x, okay? The only factors of 2 are 1 and 2, so that's the only thing it could be. You could put 2x here, and it wouldn't make a difference, but it's going to be 2x and x. When you have 3x squared, again, the factors of 3 are 1 and 3, so it's going to be 3x and x, okay? And we'll get into some specifics in a minute. I just wanted to cover this first. So it looks like on the front page, they're all 2x, so they're going to be 2x and x. On the back page, okay, so let's talk about what happens. You have a 6x squared, right? Well, that one is more difficult because the factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. And we don't always know what it's going to be. But in looking at that problem, remember the first thing that, you know what, I'm going to come back to that one, okay? I'm going to come back to that one. Let me go to the 4x squared because I'm going to show you why in a minute on that one. When we have 4x squared, it could be 1 and 4 or 2 and 2, okay? And again, yep, we're gonna do the same thing on that one. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that one too. How about this, Alexandria? Let me erase this so I have room. I try to write big so you can actually see. Let's go to this 6x squared. So we have 6x squared plus 36x plus 48. So remember I taught you guys the first thing you need to ask yourselves before you start factoring is, can 6, 36, and 48 be divided by a number? And they all can in this case. They can all be divided by 6. So before we factor, we need to pull that 6 out. Okay? Oh. And then I ask myself, okay, 6 times what number is 6x squared? And it's x squared. 6 times what number will give me 36x? And it's 6x, right? Because 6 times 6 is 36. And then, of course, we need the x. 6 times what number will give me 48? And it's 8. This is now much easier to factor than this. So always ask yourself, can I pull a number out? So now to take this further, we carry down the 6. We have to carry down the 6. My factors are going to be x and x because this is x squared. That's the only option it can be. Positive and positive because my signs are positive. And when my signs are positive, my factors are both going to be positive. Don't forget about our little cheat sheet up here. And then the factors of 8 are 1 and 8. And 2 and 4. And I have to get to, my middle term is 6. So I say, well, 2 plus 4 is 6. So I'm going to try 2 and 4. But we have to double check ourselves to make sure that is true. So remember FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. But when we're checking ourselves, we just do the outers and the inners. My inners here are 2x. And my outers are 4x. And 2x plus 4x is indeed 6x. So this is the correct answer. That's probably what you were having trouble with. And that's why I stopped on that one when I was over here. So let's do the 4x squared plus 14x plus 6. Okay, again, before we say, okay, am I going to have 1 and 4 or 2 and 2, let's ask ourselves, can 4, 14, and 6 be divided by something? And it can. They can't be divided by 4, but they can all be divided by 2. So now 2 times what number will give me 4x squared? And it's 2x squared. I keep putting the factors, and I don't mean to do that. That's the next step. Okay, and I know it's going to be positive. 2 times what will give me 14x, and it's 7x. And 2 times what will give me 6, and it's 2 times 3. Now, carry down my 2, and now I can do my factors. This is 2x squared. When I have 2x, my factors are going to be 2x and x. That's the only thing it can be is 2x and x. Now, I could have put the 2x here and the x here, but it's going to be 2x and x. These two are positive, so my factors are going to be positive. And I look at the 3. I only have one factor of 3, 1 and 3. But I need to figure out where to put the 1 and where to put the 3. But remember, when we do our outers, it's going to be 2 times something. Well, if I put the 1 here, 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3 is 5, and that doesn't give me 7. So therefore, my 3 goes here and my 1 goes here. Remember, this is trial and error. So if you had put the 3 here and the 1 here, you would have done your inners and outers, realized you didn't come up with 7x, and you would have tried something different. So now my inners are 1x and my outers, 2x times 3 is 6x. And that does indeed give me 7x. And so this is the answer. I'm going to do 2 more, and then hopefully you will be good to go. All right. Let's look at number 15, 10x squared plus 11x plus 1. Okay. Now, in this case, there's nothing I can divide these by except 1, but then we would just get the same thing we already have, right? So I can go straight to factoring. Nothing I can pull out. And I have 10x. And so when I think of the factors of 10, I have 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. And I'm like, well, how do I know if I do 1x and 10x or 2x and 5x, right? Well, my middle term is 11. And I know if I add 1 and 10, I get 11, especially because this is 1. So I'm going to try 1 and 10. So I'm going to put 10x and x. My signs are going to be positive. And 1 and 1, because that's the only thing that can equal 1 is 1 times 1, right? Let's check ourselves though. 1 times x is 1x. 10x times 1 is 10x, and that does indeed give us 11x. So this is the answer. So I know it's a little bit harder with coefficients. I'm going to go over one more because we didn't really fully do any with 2x or even 3x. You don't have any assigned for 3x within this assignment, but I just want to show you one. Let's see. Let's do, sorry, I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Let's do, this one isn't in your assignment, but this one is actually in A. But I just want to show you how we do one that's 2x. And maybe you don't need help with this, but I just wanted to throw this in here just in case. So with 2x squared, we know it's going to be 2x and x. That's the only thing it can be. Again, you could put the 2x here and the x here. I always like to put the coefficient first. I only have one multiple of 5, 1 and 5. So I just have to decide where my 1 is going to go and where my 5 is going to go. And so let's say I decide to put my 5 here and my 1 here. Well, when I do my inners, that's 5x. And when I do my outers, 2x times 1 is 2x. And that gives me 7x. But guess what? I need 11x, right? So now I know I have to switch them, okay? I wanted to show you, like, sometimes it's trial and error, and then we just switch them, and it's not a big deal, right? So now when I do my inners, I get 1x, and 2x times 5 is 10x, and now indeed I do get 11x. And so this is my answer, 2x plus 1 and x plus 5. I hope this is helpful. Have a good day.